Okay, let's relook at their kits and discuss what's going to happen.
上都融入了大量的水流相关的元素，希望能呼应。
I wasn't expecting water, but then again, maybe I should have because that's literally how we first met her.
她的身世背景，而终结技则进一步强化了汤汤在战场中专家的身份吧，对敌人造。
So, fires enemies at close range and creates a water spout, applying cryo infliction to enemies within range and dealing damage over time. If there are whirlpool nearby, they will be consumed to create additional water spouts and cause all water spouts formed by this skill to apply art susceptibility to enemies. So I'm assuming if there are more water spouts, there are more art susceptibility. So this is pretty crazy because it's nice that she is not just a DPS, but she's also a support, which is really, really good.
成寒冷伤害，掀起一处水龙卷，同时呢还会消耗场上的涡流，使它们转化为额外的水龙卷。涡流和水龙卷都是汤汤在场上创造出的特殊效果。之后呢，我们也会进行。
So she creates a water spout when you use a skill, but whirlpool I think is created by her combo. Yes. So when applying cryo infliction or dealing arts burst damage to an enemy, I find this very strange because wouldn't she need to apply cryo infliction to deal arts burst? Like, why is it all? Can someone explain that to me? This I genuinely do not understand. Because in order to do arts burst damage, don't you need to apply an infliction? And then afterwards you raise? Oh, she doesn't need to do it. Oh, you make sense. I get it now. So like if there is a nature burst, if there's a lightning burst, I get that now. Okay. It's team-wide. Correct. You guys make sense. So like, as long as you have 2 stacks of other things, it's considered an arts burst damage. Interesting. Yeah, this is an arts hybrid. Here's the true enemies in front to deal damage and creates a whirlpool that lasts for a period of time.
贯穿前方敌人，造成寒冷伤害的同时，会迸射出一。
So, something that you might end up doing is you will use Tangtang's skill, and then you use her combo, which will have a whirlpool, and then you use a skill again, so that it's whirlpool, water spout, and it's gonna be quite big damage, I would say. Like Tangtang and Gilberta sounds like a pretty nice mob clearance to me.
处涡流，如果解锁了汤汤的第一天赋，盖了。
Oh, I just realized. Okay, thanks for pointing that out.
就可以说
She's the second slow. There's a slow on the enemy.
贯穿前方敌人，造成寒冷伤害的同时，会迸射出一处涡流。如果解锁了汤汤的第一天赋肝胆相照，涡流还会使附近的敌人减速，使我方的干员。
No, wait. This is very deliberate. So a Fluorite and Tangtang team needs to be explored because Fluorite is literally meant to deal arts burst damage. Interesting. Tangtang supports Fluorite, Fluorite supports Tangtang. I'm picturing a last right Fluorite, Tangtang, and maybe Saihi team. That's what I'm picturing. Yvonne, Gilberta, Tang, and Alash. I wouldn't put Alash and Yvonne in the same team, having used them quite a lot. Not all the time, as in it's not. It's okay if you want perma-freeze. Alash and Yvonne exist in the same team when you're trying to go for a perma-freeze route, but if you're saying as general as possible, I wouldn't put the 2 of them together. Tangtang and Yvonne can definitely exist together as well. So, maybe Tangtang... Hey, wait! Actually, no, it's okay to have Alash. Maybe Tangtang, Yvonne, Alash, and Fluorite is possible.
我们希望汤汤的连接技与战技之间能够形成清晰的配合关系，战技能够提供寒冷附着，用于触发连接技生成涡流。而积累的涡流又可以通过下一次战技转化为水龙卷，从而获得更强的输出效果。
The whirlpool seems kind of short.
为水龙卷，从而获得更强的输出效果。
But I see. Because it's a whirlpool, when you activate the skill, it consumes the whirlpool to cause water spout. So that's why it went from 1 to 2. Okay. By the way, I don't think you should be seeing Tangtang as a DPS unit because y'all don't seem to register that when I mention her skill, the number of water spouts that she has is art susceptibility. And that's actually really good because the only other unit in the game that applies art susceptibility, there's Entel and Saihi. They're the only 2 that applies it when using a skill and not using an ult. Last Right also has cryo susceptibility when using her combo. But Gilberta has it when using her ult. Adelia has it when using her skill, although people tend to forget to use her skill. To me, the good thing about Tangtang is that Tangtang seems to be another like easy way to get the susceptibility as much as possible, which I think is pretty good for the team. I'm not so quick to say that she's Cryo Chen. She seems very SP hungry to me. Chen is not SP hungry, but I'm not ready to say that Tangtang is not SP hungry. I'm pretty or rather, I rather think that she is SP hungry. She can provide 2 cryo infliction minimum at the cost of 2 SP though. Someone said she returned SP. Yeah, I want to see that part. Did they mention it? They don't seem to mention it when describing the skills here, and like the skill descriptions also don't say it. Actually, what's her class? I think it's only presented in the trailer as to what their class are. Caster. And then Tangtang? Did they call this guard in the game? I actually forgot if they call it a guard as well. But okay, guard. So no, she shouldn't return SP. Striker is the vanguard. No, Striker is the triangular thing. They did very nice artwork for presenting the characters. I appreciate it. So Tangtang opens her eye patch. Wait, show me.
去受到寒冷伤害。当图形的演化结束时，
Tangtang opens her eye patch and unleashes an Olden Stare, pausing the action of enemies over a wide. Is there anyone immune to this? Will there be anyone immune to this in the future? Pausing the action of enemies. Mostima wish she did that. No, they showed that the bosses could be held in place. Pausing the action of enemies over a wide area and dealing damage. When the effect ends, a rope wave comes crashing down to deal massive damage. If the control operator performs a dive attack within the area, the state will end early and the skill effects will be enhanced. The question is it any time before it ends that it'll be enhanced by the biggest amount, or must I like the earlier I end it, the better or the stronger the damage? I kind of wonder. The enemies can still attack? No, I don't think they can. It says pausing the action of enemies. No, the enemies cannot attack.
会降下巨浪，对范围内的敌人造成大量寒冷伤害。如果主控干员在古老图形内进行下落攻击，将可以提前结束图形演化，并触发巨浪的额外效果。值得一提的是，解锁汤汤的第2天赋呼风唤浪后，这一中阶机的表现。
During Olden Stare, perform a dive attack with the control operator ends its evolution early and creates a water spout. All nearby whirlpools are also consumed and converted into additional water spouts, which means the out lets you almost kind of like perform her skill without using an SP. So if you manage to combo, it's kind of like Yvonne actually. You want to use her combo before you out. So there's a whirlpool in play, you do her out, you do the dive attack, you cause one of the water spouts, and then you create another water spout as well. Water spouts created this way have the same effects as those created by the battle skill and deal more damage. Yeah, so it literally is getting her skill without the use of SP if you perform it right. I think this is a pretty insane unit. I don't think she will be irrelevant for a while, because the crowd control is quite crazy. The art sensitivity is also good. And the fact that her ult can perform big damage without the use of SP, I think is also really good. Yeah, it seems like her combo skill cooldown is very short. I absolutely agree. So look at this, yeah. They've cast a
将可
combo.
以提前结束图形演化，并触发巨浪的额外效果。值得一提的是，解锁汤汤的第2天赋呼风唤浪后，这一中阶机的表现将得到进一步。
And the combo came back. Her combo seems very fast. So if her combo is that quick, which means you get the whirlpool up easily, that also means that Fluoride is very good, by the way. If a combo skill cooldown isn't the usual 20 seconds, but it's like 10 or like 7, that would literally mean you cast one Cryo Inflict, you cast another Cryo Inflict to do Cryo Burst, so you get her combo again, you chill, you don't spam Fluoride's combo, and then afterwards you use Fluoride's combo, and you get a combo again. I think she will be insane to use. This definitely feels like a character where if you don't understand how she works, you're not going to understand why she's strong. But then if you actually understand how to use her, I think you're going to appreciate it a lot. Can you stack multiple Cryo Infliction with the ultimate? It doesn't do anything. It's meant... So, she can have more Cryo Infliction, but again, it doesn't support her. You need to feed it to someone else. So that is why I'm saying that Tangtang is basically really good for Last Ride or Yvonne. It's either or. You can put her in one of those 2 teams. So that you can become... Like, Tangtang becomes the applicator, the support, the sub DPS, the crowd control. Those are 4 really good roles, I would say. Can you use her as a control unit with Yvonne? You could, but when Yvonne outs, you'll have to control her, which you just need to mind the switching. That's about it. I would say, would you end up using her as a control unit? Well, it doesn't really matter though. Both Yvonne and Tangtang are handgun users. So that makes me think that you would probably use Yvonne over Tangtang as a control unit in the team. If you're using Last Right, I guess it depends on what you want more. You can use either Last Right or Tangtang, but I feel like you would probably use Yvonne. You also use Yvonne because Yvonne deals more damage to enemies with cryo infliction and solidification, if you remember. Yvonne has a fantastic talent that makes you want to use her as a control unit when you have her on the team. For the dive attack after out, Tangtang may be the control unit. I think it doesn't matter. I think it could be anyone. What's Tangtang's second talent? They didn't show. We'll have to see when she's out. I feel like this unit will be misunderstood in the early part, unless some people can, like me or other people, will do a good job in explaining how Tangtang works. Because I think she's quite good. Can you go Tangtang only DPS? You could, but the problem is, where does the cryo infliction go? You'll need to use the cryo infliction. Well, okay, that's a good thing, now that you say it this way. Tangtang could be used to support someone else. So, an interesting team that I could see is that you can actually use Tangtang in the electric team. It could work, where she's the 4th person on the electric team. Because at least you have her as someone to apply cryo infliction and then cause electrification with someone applying electric infliction later on. But you will miss out on the arts damage stuff, like the arts burst damage. You could use her in the heat team if you're not trying to give Levitane heat stacks, but rather you're trying to give Levitane more combustion. Then in that case, you can use her as like an applicator. Like, for her to be not in a cryo team, her role becomes an applicator in the other 3 elements. And that depends on how you kind of push things around. Now there are definitely 4 interesting characters that all have like some kind of buff within them. I do genuinely think that Saihi, Tangtang, and Last Right sounds like a very strong team right now. But something in me says Tangtang and Gilberto will also be quite interesting. Okay, let's look at Rossi. Oh no, actually, you know what? Let's watch her display once more.
就是现在，我们发动汤汤的终结技，直接停住它。我们现在争取到了宝贵的一些输出时间啊！我们立刻开启赛。
Yeah, by the way, so in this showcase, what they're showing is that the ball stopped moving.
哎，看它快要
So you
起
see,
飞了。
the boss was about to
我
fly.
们发动汤汤的终结技，直接停
Tangtang
住
outed.
它。
Tangtang stopped the boss before it could fly. It's not bind, it's stun. Bind means can attack, right? It's stun. But yeah, it's also not bind or stun. It's technically time stop. It's not freeze. Yeah, immobilize. Sure, let's use that term. Immobilize might be better. I'm certain that this is an interesting sell for people to want to use Tangtang. Because no other characters will do this in the game for a while. And that will mean that in the future, when you have a certain game mode, or when you have a certain stage where you get so pissed with the enemies, you might appreciate the fact that you can just stop and just hold them in place. You know what I mean? She's perfect for Yvonne. Yes. She's good at buffing Last Right, but she's good at letting Yvonne stay safe while in the out. She's a good support, really.
我们现在争取
The range is low-key big.
现在
The range of a
汤
skill,
汤的终结技，直接停住它。
I think it's the biggest. It looks like the biggest in the game right now. Bigger than Programishnik. Bigger than Li Feng. Feels like it's about 20-30% bigger. Her cooldown seems to be 10-12 seconds. Right. Oh wait, they're using the exact same team that I named just now. Tangtang, Fluorite, Last Right, Saihi. Exactly what I thought would be the probable strongest team for Last Right when Tangtang release.
我们现在争取到了宝贵的一些波猛烈的输出，战绩产生3个水溶卷，返还许多气力的同时，对 BOSS 造成大量的伤害，同时施加寒冷附着。
Okay, I do feel like this helps to make the Last Right team a lot more enjoyable. Look at the combo skill cooldown. Oh, you're right. I could measure.
BOSS 此时进入了失衡状态，立刻我们使用汤汤的战绩产生3个水溶卷，返还许多气力的同时，对 BOSS 造成大量的伤害，同时施加寒冷附着。最后呢，我们再使用别的连续技完成一波收割，哈哈！到最
It's like
后
12 seconds? 12-13 seconds. It's not 20. It's definitely not 16. It feels like between 12 to 14. It's okay. It's quite fast. It's not the usual slow combo. So yeah, this team that she's using is the Yvonne team. I don't think this is the strongest though, because Yvonne still wants cryo stacks, but Alash is good at giving SP somewhat, which means technically it helps someone else to give cryo stacks, like Tangtang can do her skill again, so that then later on Yvonne can get her out energy.
利用汤汤战绩大范围的优势，快速的清理掉这群前兽，让我们有空专心的对付剩下的这只大怪啊！此时追加一防的战绩给敌人施加冻结，并配合汤汤的闪避后迅速的重击。
So what he's basically done is he used psychic. Okay, he caused a cryo infliction first.
跟上了一堆终结技后，哎呦不好呀！
And then afterwards,
很狡猾呀。
he used Psyche's out to buff the damage of the whole cryo
跑出
team.
了一防连接技的范围，不过呢没关
He
系，
used Yvonne's out to be the sort of control.
我们开启一防的终结技后，哎，
Then he used Tangtang's out to help to deal the massive sort of
极限的
damage
接上汤汤的终结技，将敌
and
人
also
牢
to
牢地
slow them down.
定住。我们再来进行一
Then
波猛烈的
because there's a cryo infliction that comes in play, I believe, from Tangtang, I think. So now there's 4 stacks.
最后呢，配合一防的战绩，将敌人流畅的一波带走。
Oh, this feels a bit of a waste. Okay, I was hoping for a better showcase. They didn't solidify. You know what I mean? I was hoping that they solidified the guy because it's supposed to make Yvonne's out better. He did? No, he didn't. He solidified after.
和一防的战绩，
So yeah, he ran out of SP. You're right. You're right. It's cause the guy didn't have SP. He couldn't solidify. Before Yvonne did the final strike of
波
the
猛
out,
烈的
he
安
did.
全输出。最后呢，配合一防来进行一波猛烈的安全输出。
He did.
我们再来进行一波猛烈的安全输出。
What skill did he use?
最后呢，配合一防的战绩，
Oh, wait a minute. You can do that? I'm learning something new. Wait, you can actually use Yvonne's skill before her out ends? Okay, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, chat. I will do another Japanese bow. I'm so sorry. Your streamer is a failure. I did not know you can do that. It's not worth. No, but her out ended. As in, like, all her basic attacks ended. So this is before the final strike of the out. It is worth it. Because you also get out energy. Oh, you don't get out energy. I just noticed because her out hasn't ended. So technically, he shouldn't be using Yvonne. Maybe he should be using Alash. Although Yvonne will have more damage. But yeah, Yvonne doesn't get out energy. Okay.
将敌人流畅的一波带走。
Hey, Rossi is definitely more interesting than Tangtang is. So, dashes towards a target, attacks with sharp claws, dealing damage and applying lift. If the target is already vulnerable, inflicts additional follow-up damage and applies Razor Claw Mark, dealing continuous damage. But that one doesn't apply vulnerable, it's just more damage. I can't believe it, you're 6-star and your bro is 5. Her talent states, after Woven Umbrage, which is a skill, deal damage, applies Razor Claw Mark to the target for a certain duration. This effect cannot stack. While Razor Claw Mark is active, the target takes physical damage equals second, equal to a certain percentage of Rossi's attack, receives increased physical and heat damage. So she's a buffer for a physical and heat team. Like, they take increased damage on 2 aspects. Interesting, huh? It's a DOT damage. Also, they just said something about the HP. Hold on.
爪印状态会持续使目标受到伤害，且使其受到的物理和灼热伤害提升。若曦若
Oh, there's a status inflict on the
目标受到
guy.
伤害，
So you can see that the Razor
使其
Claw
受
Mark
到
is
的
in
物
play.
理
You see it here. So if this is in play, you know that the unit, like this guy, is currently taking damage every second and is also taking physical and heat damage. Okay.
和灼热伤害提升。若曦若对处于爪印状态的敌人造成暴击后，将进而触发第2天赋废血，可额外施加1次伤害，并回复一定的生命值。
So they didn't show this talent on the screen, but they're verbalizing it. So Rossi's other talent is that if she scores a critical hit, she can recover HP. I don't think you need it though. Why would you build crit rate for her to recover her HP?
如果目标处于燃烧状态，这个伤害和治疗效果还将
If the target is combusted, the damage and HP recovery is further increased. Is it massive that you need to crit? If Rossi scores a critical hit to an enemy, no, it doesn't. I don't think it's the DOT. I don't think DOT damage can crit. It's referring to the application.
和灼热伤，爪印状态会持续使目标受到伤害，且使其受到的物理和灼热伤害。
I'm not sure if the wolves count as 3 attack or 1. If it counts as 3, then there's a higher chance to crit. But if it counts as 1, like a single attack, then I'm not sure if you can actually crit easily.
当敌人同时处于破防与法术
If the enemy has vulnerable and arts,
疗影时刻将固定触发2次。
then there will be 2 sequences of attack. She'll first deal damage and she'll consume all arts infliction stack and deal damage and apply lift. If the combo sequence 2 is cast with perfect timing, what the hell is perfect timing? What did I just read? Perfect timing.
第一次攻击会稳定造成物理伤害，时刻将固定触发2次。第一次攻击会稳定造成物理
Is it
伤
a
害，
yellow thing?
而第2次攻击则会消耗目标身上的所有法术附着。
It's the yellow thing?
根据消耗的层数造成物理伤害，并施加击飞效果。同时呢，还可以提升洛希。
Will people like that or not like that? So it's basically don't spam, do not spam, literally telling you not to spam E. You like it, it's like a rhythm game. Will it be random or will it be fixed? If it's fixed, you'll get used to it.
自身的暴击率与暴击伤害，击飞效果。同时呢，还可以提升。
Rossi's own critical rate and critical damage will go up. He is a crit rate person. Is it because of her ult that you want the crit rate?
消耗的层数造成物理伤害，并施加击飞效果。同时呢，还可以提升洛希自身的暴击率与暴击伤害。如果管理员们的操作很好，第2次的连续技能够做到精准衔接，还将额外为目标敌人施加一层破。
Wait, she's a better Chen. wait. I've come to realize something. Her combo can apply 2 vulnerable because she lifts them and it says it applies an extra vulnerable. How the hell did we get better Chen that fast? A 0 SP double vulnerable, but she doesn't have stagger. There's probably a stagger value to it, but you need arts infliction for 2 vulnerable. I can foresee, right? The team can be Gilberta, Chen, Rossi, and a Crusher. I think so. Could be Chen, but could also be someone else. That's your SP. Doesn't matter. It's all combo. You don't need SP. You don't need SP when all the combo is providing the damage. You could use Pogranish Snake instead of a Crusher because you could main DPS Rossi. Characters that do applications of vulnerable or inflictions without the use of SP, in my eyes, are very good because low cost. You don't have to spend. Does her skill apply vulnerable? Yes. No. Yes, because lift. And you want to use a skill because a skill increases physical damage taken.
实现破防。
I don't know why her kit is built around crit.
洛希的终结技利爪奇袭可以
Flutters her cape and unleashes a flurry of stabs that deal multiple hits of damage at the target within a short time, finally dashes towards the target with a dagger to perform slashes, dealing massive damage and applying heat infliction, which means you don't need to use someone else to perhaps procure an infliction to use a combo with. Her ult immediately triggers into a combo, so that's probably a timing window that you want to be concerned about. Like, have a vulnerable first, then use her ult, so that once her ult ends, it becomes that. Okay, I see why you want crit now. Because it says a flurry of stabs within a short time. But that also means that she's kind of more enjoyable to use than Yvonne, because I'm assuming she hits more times than Chen does. Like, Chen only slashes like 7 or 10 times? I can't remember. I'm assuming she has more. So if she has like, I don't know, 20 stabs, then yes, maybe you perhaps want like 10 of those to be a crit damage.
可以在短时间内对敌人造成多段灼热伤害。
I mean,
的终结技
how many did that look like, guys?
利爪奇袭可以在短时间内对敌人造成多段灼热伤
How many hits did that look like?
害。随后，洛希使用匕首进行2段追击，造成大量的灼热伤害，并施加一层灼热附着。而终结技将在暴击时产生更高的暴击伤害。
The ultimate will deal increased critical damage when a critical hit is scored. Okay, she's our second crit character of the game. For sure, for sure.
将在暴击时产生更高的暴击伤害。总的来说，洛希不仅能够作为近卫干员，高效施加破防，同时呢，也能稳定的引入法术伤
Who was the second after Yvonne?
害，这是一项它的重要优势。接下来呢，我们也将通过一段实战视频来看看洛希的战斗表现。这次我们要面对的敌人是年谷行星人，我喜欢叫他大斧哥，还是挺抗揍的。 开场，我们先使敌人同时进入破防和灼热附着状态，这刚好触发了洛西的
Ten's
连接
close,
技。
but
我们
7
一同
hits is
操
still
作
not enough.
精准衔接他的第二段连接技，成功一次性对敌人施加了2层破防。之后呢，我们迅速衔接洛西的战技，给目标施加第4层破防和爪印状态。在管理员猛击消耗破防层数后，我们接上狼卫的终结技，让大斧哥进入燃烧状态。最后，我们使用洛西的终结技，对敌人发起暴风骤雨般的攻击，帅气的解决了。
Interesting. So the mechanics that they did for this was that because she applies the Razor Claw, right? And then afterwards, Wolfguard also has the increased damage and whatnot. So what they pretty much went for is an applicator on the team. So Akekuri is just there to be an SP provider. Wolfguard is there to deal some heat damage when the Razor Claw is up. Applies a stack for Rossi. So you probably want to arrange Rossi first on the team so that Rossi's combo will trigger first. And then later on when you use Wolfguard's combo, you kind of get it up in a different way. Oh, but this also means that you are shortchanging Wolfguard's skill, because Wolfguard's skill will never be able to be used in a combustion state since this team can never combust. And then Enmin's just there to be pretty, really, because Enmin is providing the physical damage to the team. You don't really use Wolf skill in the left team. That's a problem I find with Wolfguard. Wolfguard in general has this weird thing where you have a skill that you don't really use in the game. You don't really use it to its fullest, I mean. Not don't use. He has a self-combust, he does, which is on his ult, but not very often that you get that.
敌人的同时，还恢复了一定的生命值。由于洛西的连接技对于法术附着的类型没有任何限制啊，其实它还可以与吉尔菲塔等干员形成良好的多种的敌人都聚。
I mean, this should be the interesting team. They purposely pair her with Wolfguard, but I don't think you have to. Gilberta and Rossi definitely seems like the way to go. I feel like she's more interesting in a physical team since she gives vulnerability so easily. So a part of me says, oh, but you need reactions. Wait, Gilberta is strange. Because Gilberta's combo gets gated if you use pure Gilberta. I mean, there's always a problem when you don't have a person who's fully maximized. Use Estella. I mean, it's a problem of team slots now. Are there physical people that can have applications? No, Estella. Wait, that might be it. Estella might be better to pair with Rossi than Gilberta, because Estella provides physical susceptibility after all. Ember doesn't provide inflictions. So if but Estella needs solidification as well if you want to procure her combo. Wait a minute, Rossi's having a problem. You can have people to enable Rossi, but who is Rossi enabling? I think she helps the physical team the most. That I would agree. Actually, Wolfguard might be the best. No, now that I think it through a little bit more. Yeah, Wolfguard should be the best to pair with Rossi right now. Is the easiest applicator, and an applicator that doesn't care if he gets supported or not. Gilberta and her is definitely okay in the sense that you can use Gilberta as the crowd control and then you can support. But since she needs good infliction applicators and hopefully the applicators don't have other conditions that she needs to fulfill, then I would say, yeah, Wolfguard might be the best amongst the current people we have in the game. Then in terms, this is just who should her second buddy be. When it comes to the next two, then it sort of depends of what kind of team you're going for. Whether, like, whose vulnerable stacks are you trying to provide for? Is it Enmin? Is it Dapan? Is it Pogranishnik? That sort of thing. And then, like, who's the other person to help support and buff the team that you want to go for? That is what's going on with it. So the second person on the team feels a bit restrictive, but the other two is more fluid. Can you get Rossi on Tangtang's banner? No, you can't. You cannot get Rossi on Tangtang's banner. You can only get Gilberta and Yvonne on Tangtang's banner. Units last for 3 banner? Yeah, but the other units need to last. They already stated that in the first live stream, the order of the events is such that the units move forward. So no, you cannot get Rossi in Tangtang. Oh wait, Tangtang and Rossi banner? Tangtang and Rossi banner, yes. Sorry. You can't get Rossi in Tangtang's banner. My bad. You can't get Rossi in Tangtang's, but you can get Tangtang in Rossi because of the order of the banners. Okay, I think I've reviewed their kit. I don't know, guys. I think, personal opinion, after reviewing their kit, I like Tangtang's kit more than I like Rossi's kit. I thought I would like Rossi more, but no, I don't think so. I think Rossi's gonna give me a headache. Tangtang seems more straightforward as to how she's supposed to support everybody. But Rossi makes it a little bit iffy. Yeah, Rossi might need certain future people. I'm bad at QTE. It's not that. It's just... It's not the QTE part. It's... Who exactly is she supporting? I'm not very sure. Rossi definitely has a higher skill ceiling. I'll give that. Like, Rossi has a more player understanding ceiling than Tangtang does. Oh, but I agree. Tangtang and Rossi looks more fun to play than Levitine and Yvonne. I'm not a fan of Levitine and Yvonne in this game. I'm okay with Gilberta. Gilberta is kind of interesting as to how she works. But both of them definitely seem more fun to play with. Who's better in terms of future-proof? I think they're about the same. They future-proof for different reasons. Like, Tangtang has a crowd control that I think is going to stay unique for many years ahead. And like, she's a pretty easy support to use and pretty self-sufficient. I would say Tangtang is very okay. But Rossi should be future-proof as well. Even though she's weird now, her kit makes sense because, like I told you guys, when the game introduces more physical plus arts type of people, and they all start blending together, it's good. Like right now, we just don't have enough. Rossi became the first person that has such a mechanic. But I think we will get more next time, and that should increase her stocks. You know what I mean? Like, I feel right now Tangtang's stocks are higher than Rossi's, but I think as time passes, Rossi's stocks will be higher, but so as Tangtang's stock. I think both will grow over time. Isn't Gilberta the first hybrid? You can say that she's the first hybrid, yes. I mean, no, Estella and Gilberta are both the first hybrids. But strange that you cannot really blend Estella and Gilberta. Wait, no, you can. What am I talking about? You could do Estella, Gilberta, Rossi, and Pogranishnik. That's a fun team. That's a big fun team. You get solidification if you need it. You get to eat inflictions if you need it as well. You get to pull them in. What's the skill order? I think it's quite fluid. It's up to you, really. What you prioritize more. Do you want to solidify the enemy first? Do you want to apply an infliction so that Rossi can buff first, and then later on you deal with all the other applications that happen? I can fully picture what the sequences will be like when you put the four of them together, but I think they seem like they make sense. And that's nice because you get heat infliction, cryo infliction, and nature infliction in the same team. So you have the ability to combust, you have the ability to corrode, and you have the ability to solidify. That's pretty nice.